What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and I'm here to make a big announcement. I am returning to Tiff for 2019 this year. And I can't believe I'm excited because of the hell that I've been through the past 3 days just to get 7 fucking tickets. Let's talk about that. For the past couple months, I've been anticipating ticket sales to be the absolute worst just because of last year, my very first try that left me in so much pain and misery that it is just hard to look back on even now, especially after, like I said, 3 days of trying to get stuff that I should put out a disclaimer of the movies I'm not going to see because I just was unlucky and didn't get enough time, I guess. I'm not going to be able to see Knives Out, Parasite, Jojo Rabbit, The Lighthouse, Blood Quantum, Harriet. There were a couple others that I was anticipating, but I never got around to. But yeah, and I was excited most of all for Knives Out. That was the thing that made me want to go to the festival the most. And those were the first tickets that I was going to get. But about 20 minutes in, when I was finally in front of the line and able to buy tickets, a lot faster than I did last year, it asked me for a promo code, which, isn't completely out of the ordinary. You gotta verify that it is me. But here's the problem: Tiff never sent me one. I renewed my membership in April, and the deadline for renewing your membership was August 16th. And I instead got a promo code for the day after, which wasn't even officially a ticket day, and it was unbelievably confusing. And when I went to TIFF support for help as to why I had one, because I checked on Twitter and it turns out not only did I not have one, but a shit ton of people didn't have one either. And TIFF help was an oxymoron, if I'm being completely honest. The questions, because they don't give you support, they just ask you questions as if the people on the other end have absolutely no idea what's going on either, which unfortunately is no real surprise to me because walk up to any TIFF volunteer and half the questions that you're going to ask, they will look at you like they're completely clueless. They will have absolutely nothing useful to offer to you, and I feel bad for them. I know it's not their fault because they can only tell you what they've received. It's the main reason I never want to be a TIFF volunteer in my life. If there are any TIFF volunteers watching this video, I apologize, and please don't yell at me when you see me. TIFF support said that my membership ran out in July. I told them that's not true. I gave them my confirmation, and eventually I got it. But that was 2 hours completely wasted that got me to lose half of the tickets that I easily could have had. And I thought, okay, well, there are 2 more days where I'll be able to get something. Shouldn't that... They wouldn't, put up these show times if they had nothing left. They would update. They did not update at all. In fact, for 2 days, even though I was a member and had access to everything else, there were screenings for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. That's the other one that I won't be able to see, and when you listen to the end of the story, you'll find out. For 2 days, it was... Those ones in particular were the only ones where they weren't available to anybody. Which made no sense to me because none of the rules on TIFF's website or on Twitter or anything like that specifically say that there are exceptions to certain screenings. Which is complete bullshit, if I'm being honest. And I'm not even remotely surprised by the lack of professionalism and the lack of responses that Cameron Bailey, or really anyone in TIFF's high-profile personnel, have given. No response, no... Well, I shouldn't say no response. No legitimate response. They stated that the reason that they had a paperless schedule was because of environmental concerns, because, that'll make a huge difference. I mean, we're already littering our pop bottles, our beer, our popcorn. This isn't going to stop anything, guys. But Bailey was insistent that they're always evolving. Which is funny, because out of, 6 years of newspaper articles and Twitter complaints and Facebook complaints and video complaints, I've found no official response from anybody about their technical difficulties, and I don't really count this one because it's a statement, not an excuse. But here's the thing, you really should address these issues, because if your technical glitches and your employees and employers' incompetence stops us from buying tickets, that means, and I really shouldn't have to explain this, you don't get our cash. I can't believe I have to dumb this down, but it's really that pathetic. Didn't I say I was excited? I am excited because regardless, I still get to see 7 movies over the course of 9 days, and I would love to see one movie every day, but I mean, I saw 7 movies in about 5 days last year, which is pretty impressive, all things considered, so, it's not really that big of a change of pace. Now, the first movie I get to see at TIFF 2019 is The Personal History of David Copperfield, and I'll be honest, this is more out of mild interest than huge anticipation. I'm not the biggest Charles Dickens fan, per se. I do like a lot of certain adaptations, but some of them are more misses than hits. I'm hoping this one's a hit because I like the cast that they have, especially Dev Patel. I like the fact that he's an actor who doesn't take the mainstream route, per se. He is very strategic and more personal with his roles, and I really appreciate that, and I hope that he gets to add something new that we haven't really seen in terms of the Charles Dickens formula. But the things about the formula that we enjoy, like the settings, the costumes, the performances, as I said, I'm hoping those still live up to everything else that we've seen before. Now, there is a 3-day gap between that and the next movie. I'm hoping to get into a couple rush lines, and I'll update you guys on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff, if and when that actually works out. But on Tuesday morning at 10:30, I get to see Ford v Ferrari, which, judging just by the cast and crew, James Mangold, the director of Logan, you got Christian Bale and Matt Damon, 2 really good actors who I don't think they've even worked before. That just seems kind of strange to me. Taking on this real-life story about the creation of the Ford GT and Ford's rivalry with Ferrari during racing times, which sounds automatically interesting because even though I'm not really a racing fan, I'm not a huge follower of sports either, but just seeing sports movies, they always have those underdog stories that we really love to see on the big screen. And on Tuesday afternoon, I get to see a new anime feature called Weathering with You from the director of Your Name, and I'll be completely honest, I haven't seen Your Name, I haven't seen any of Makoto Shinkai or Shinkai, somebody let me know in the comments. I honestly haven't seen any of that guy's stuff before, which sounds weird considering people hail him as the new Miyazaki, but I heard early Japanese reviews saying that the biggest problem with this movie was that it's this guy's next movie after Your Name. I haven't seen it, and I thought, well, maybe it would be a good idea to go into this without any predetermined expectations, and I'm hoping it lives up to that. It looks beautiful. It's the one I'm watching is subtitled, so I'm not going to be judging by dubbing or anything like that, but it'll definitely be an interesting experience, and plus, I want to see animated features at TIFF this year, and I get to see 2. On Wednesday, I get to see Motherless Brooklyn, a 50s-era detective movie written, directed by, and starring Edward Norton. Yes, it is based off of a book, but the fact that he still did those 3 things really does sound cool, and I love detective movies. The fact that I can't see Knives Out, I like the fact that this is an equal substitution, hopefully, because the casting, once again, looks pretty good. I'm not going to give away some of the other actors because it might surprise you if you end up checking it out after the festival. Friday, I once again see 2 features. The first one is Noah Hawley, the creator of Fargo and Legion, the TV shows anyways. His directorial debut, Lucy in the Sky, where Natalie Portman plays an astronaut who experiences things when she comes back to Earth. I really want to see this movie just based off of her and a couple actors in the movie, and that Noah Hawley can finally be a film director. Because, yes, he's able to stretch out stories in a TV show and give television itself a more artistic feel that mainstream audiences can enjoy. I'm hoping he can do that same feat within a 2-hour time limit. We'll see how it goes. And a few hours afterwards, I get to see a Chinese animated movie made by a guy who's usually done live action stuff. I really know nothing about the premise or the cast or really the crew, but I want to see number 7 Cherry Lane just because, like I said with Weathering with You, I want to see animated movies at TIFF, and I want to see them get a little bit more attention than they usually would when they just get released in art house feeders and then people forget about them afterwards. And finally, on the last Saturday of the festival, I get to see a black comedy with Hugh Jackman, Ray Romano, and Allison Janney, and that is Bad Education. When I first heard about this, I thought Jack Whitehall made another movie about his British sitcom, but that didn't end up happening. It's interesting. The director, Corey Finley, says that this movie, whatever it's about, because again, I haven't seen any trailers, I've only seen one picture, I don't even know who plays who or what really happens. I just know that what does happen is based off of something that Finley experienced when he was in high school. That alone just sounds bizarre, but also kind of funny that you can turn weird shit like this into a movie. And it's surreal that Hugh Jackman and Ray Romano are in the same movie. I know that Ray Romano's going to be in The Irishman too, but I gotta be honest, I'm one of the few people who's not terribly excited about The Irishman. Well, guys, thank you for sticking through the video. Thank you for hearing my complaints and my ramblings. It's been a while since I've made a video like this. I'm trying to make less like them, but seeing as how I'm only in town for a short bit of time in Toronto, I will be doing most of these reviews in a speaking style like I used to, because, even though there are some dates where I won't be seeing anything, I do have other videos that I want to work on, videos I want to give to you guys as quickly as I can, so we'll see how it goes. But either way, thank you once again for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at noperfectmovie.com. Be sure to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and for the last time in this video, thank you very much for watching. Take care.